Hello and welcome to the Northern Monkeys Cricket Show. Today we are going to be doing day 2 of the first test of England against India. We have just the two of us here today, myself and Michael.
Hello.
A good day. We won't wait. I'm going to use this opportunity to lay into our colleague Wayne, who should be here. I assume he's still asleep. He got up. I know for a fact he got up very early there to watch the game, as many people did. Wayne has not turned up for it, so
thanks, Wayne.
Cheers, Wayne. So it was a very good day, Mick. So if we look at the game stats, England 558 for 8. Currently, we have Don Bess on 28 not out and Jack Leach on 6 not out. But we'll come on to that. We'll come on to those in a minute. We finished with him yesterday, so we'll start with him today. Joe Root got his 5th double century for England, 218, and then got out LBW from Nadeem, 218 off 377 balls. It's one of these things, Nick, that we mentioned this before we started recording. In cricket, one thing happens, and then there's about 15 different stats that suddenly come up for it. So I know you've got some stats you want to reel off for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll have to come back to me on that one because I can't read them because I've got my wrong glasses on. They're on my screen. However, I know it's the first time. I think he's the first batsman, or certainly the first English batsman, to make 3 consecutive double centuries. I think that's one of them.
No, because he made 150 in Sri Lanka.
Well, so there you go. I don't know any of these stats at all, do I?
I've got them for you. Let me go through them for you.
Well, let me go through my first one.
Go on,
because I did predict this when we talked about it. It's the only thing that I do know by the show. We talked at the end of the Sri Lanka series that he was 4th in the all-time list of English batsmen runs-wise, 200 and a bit shy of Alex Stewart. And I think I mentioned that he'd knock him off in the first innings in India. In the first innings of the first test. I mean, obviously, we're a bit tongue-in-cheek, but he is now the 3rd highest scoring English run scorer of all time, 8,467. So he's about 300 and some behind, 400 and some behind Graham Gooch. So hopefully he'll be able to knock them off this series and become the 2nd highest run scorer of all time for England. So that's my only stat.
That's very possible that could happen. That's certainly within his reach for this series.
2nd innings.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So he joins a list of now 7 people who have scored 150 plus scores in 3 or more games. There is one person to do it in 4 games, which obviously he will be aiming for. Kumar Sangakkara scored 150 plus in 4 games in a row. So there's every chance that he could reach that. He's only the 2nd captain ever to do that, and only the captain to do that ever before is Don Bradman. So he joins a very, very elite list of captains getting 150 consecutive scores. There's Joe Root and the other greatest batsman of all time. So
well, there you go.
Yeah. The score for 218 is the highest score of any batsman on their 100th test, and is the best in India by an England player, and the first to score a double century by an overseas player in the country since 2010. And the final one that I have is that Root's 100 is the 5th of his career, which only Wally Hammond has more than that. Wally Hammond has about 12 or 13 though, so unlikely that'll get caught. But still, it's an incredible achievement. To get 218 as a visiting batsman in India is fantastic, Nick.
That's about the only stat you need to know, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's particularly in this day and age, the way that wickets are prepared, often for the benefit of home teams as well, usually. But this is clearly a batting wicket. It certainly has been for the first couple of days. But yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal performance for the whole of this year so far from Joe Root, isn't it? Everything he touches seems to turn to gold. So I'm hoping I'm going to text him a bit later on once he's up, see if he can get me to pick me 6 numbers for Euro Millions next week. Because he's certainly on fire with everything else, so you never know.
Well, exactly.
Fabulous. Just a measured performance as well. He's a very, very intelligent cricketer, isn't he? The way that he can see the bigger picture within the game within each session as well. It's fabulous. It's fabulous to see and great to watch, and it's great that there's an Englishman. So just a word for Virat Kohli as well. The first person to congratulate him after he was finally out. Kohli came up and shook his hand, which I think it's a measure of the way the Indians play cricket. I think, it's a lot of respect there. So.
Yeah, certainly Kohli is very passionate and very high energy, but when it comes down to it, he clearly is a decent bloke. Which is, it's not, well, it is the most important thing. At the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Ben Stokes also make 82 off 118. His first game of Test cricket since August last year. Never been away.
Exactly. It's bizarre, isn't it? How? I mean, that's the sign of another sign of a great player that it can be away from Test cricket for so long and then come back and look like he's like you said, never been away. It's a really, really good innings and a good contribution as well. And another player, much like Josh Butler, albeit to a much lesser extent, a really good foil for Joe Root at the other end. I think everybody that's had a partnership with Joe Root has really sort of done the job that they were supposed to do, from Dom Sibley up at the top, down to Ben Stokes and Ollie Pope up to a point, Josh Butler. So good to see Stokesy back playing well, and that bodes well for the rest of the series, doesn't it?
Very much so, yeah. Ollie Pope got 34 off 89. A start, Nick, but he's still young, Pope. This is what is certainly his first Test tour of India. He may have gone to South Africa last winter. He's very, very young and he's still learning his trade, Pope. Yeah,
he is absolutely. And the key stat for me from Ollie Pope's innings is not the runs necessarily, but the number of balls he's faced. We've talked about the pitch in this game a couple of times now, and I don't think, and I may well be proved wrong, I don't think runs is necessarily the major part of this. Time is just as important to use up time as well, because I think a fourth innings on this pitch, it's going to be tough. I think it will deteriorate. It's going to deteriorate. I think there's been a couple of little signs today of that happening. Tomorrow's going to be a really, really interesting day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, we said last night, England, to put themselves into an unlosable position is to bat completely for day two, or almost completely for day two, and then you go on from there. But bearing in mind the score, Mick, would it have been an idea to put India in for 20 minutes?
Yeah. Toss a coin, I don't know. You always think it's a good idea to get that batting side in for the last 2 or 3 overs of the evening. I think possibly India proved with their bowling attack, albeit a 2-day-old bowling attack, must be absolutely exhausted. Maybe it wasn't the right decision to put them in. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not convinced that 555 is enough. The issue we've got here is if the wicket doesn't deteriorate, even if it does, if it holds out for another day and a half, India could quite happily knock those off, I reckon, or they had certainly got the ability to knock that off and get a lead. Which is why I said time obviously was an important part of it. To bat these 2 days out, and then that's what we've done. So it's still on a knife edge.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think all three results are definitely possible still.
I think that England are now in an unlosable situation. I think we've taken away an opportunity to go and win the game. I don't think we've taken it away completely, but I think we had an opportunity to put India under a lot of pressure. But then it is unknown, based on what happened last time in Chennai when England got a good score of nearly 500 and then still lost.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying, but they're batting first on a day 3 pitch.
They are, but
At
it's
some point,
India.
anyway.
We're playing India in India, and they are more than capable. I think more than capable. Then that's not to say that we're not going to have any more involvement in the game and not have any more impact on it. Clearly, we are. If we bowl well, then it should take away the chance of a victory for them. But it's going to be close. It's not. It's still on a knife edge for me. But it's better than I thought. I didn't think we'd be. I genuinely didn't think that we'd be in a position at the start of day 3 where we had a chance of winning the game. I thought we were going to be looking at either a draw or a defeat. But that's the optimist in me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just want to mention, we've got a couple of things to mention before we go. First off, Jack Leach dancing down the track was just a sight to behold. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah. The more I see of Jack Leach, the more I like him. I think he's just a great, great player. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't know whether he's a great player or not. Only time will tell. It just seems a character, just a lovely bloke to have around, and to see him dancing down the track at 2 overs before end of day 2 is a sight to behold, isn't it? And to be fair, him and Don Bess, they've done really, really well.
Yeah, Don Bess looks really comfortable with that.
Yeah, he does, and they're going to frustrate. They are frustrating the life out of India at the moment. I can't remember whether I think it was Jack Leach that was dropped to it, or Don Bess. I can't remember. It was dropped towards the back end of the day, and I don't think that drop and the reaction to it went down particularly well with Kohli either. Because some of the players are having a bit of a giggle about it, and whether they're just thinking, you know what, we don't want to be batting for 2 overs tonight. I can't imagine that would be the reason why that absolute dolly was dropped. But you never know, do you?
Well, they did the best to drop Ben Stokes. It took him a couple of goes to get that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But after these many days in bat, but I understand the tiredness.
Oh,
I can only imagine the tiredness that comes with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've played very limited cricket, 40 over cricket, up to 50 over cricket, and that's tiring standing in field for 50 overs.
Yeah.
They've done it for nearly 180 overs. They've been in field for.
Absolutely, in 30-degree heat as well and high humidity. They've got to be incredibly fit people anyway to play the game. But it's going to absolutely take it out of you. Which again is credit to England for forcing India into that position. So it's not over yet.
No, definitely not.
Any more?
Yeah. So we go forward to. So one thing I want to mention before we leave is the buzzer, Mick. When there's a no ball.
What's all that about?
I don't know. I really, really don't like it. We were watching it this morning with my kids, and they sort of put their head up and said, "What was that?" And I sort of did the same. Oh, what's this?
What are you doing?
Very,
kids
very, very T20. Well, kids are up all hours, aren't they?
Oh, that's true.
It's very T20, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, and it's not as though. I mean, the thing is, they both 17 no balls, 19 no balls, which is a real surprise for me. And to be fair, if I've got any criticism of India at all, if you've got spinners bowling no balls, that is not acceptable. I'm sorry, but
have you
not
seen
to that level.
Have you seen the stat about Ashwin?
No.
He held the record for the most amount of balls in Test cricket without getting a no ball. It was his first no ball in 20,000, something like 20,000 balls of cricket.
Right. Okay.
And he's now lost the record. That goes back to Graham Swan, who was at about 15,000 Test balls without a no ball. But I agree. There's no excuse for spinners getting a no ball. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, not a front foot no ball. No. Bizarre. But anyway, I mean, it does happen. I know it happens, but I don't understand why. But yeah, on a knife edge, I think, like we've said, and looking forward to day 3. see what that brings.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be an interesting day. I think England are comfortably in the lead, but it's India in India. It could change very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Get involved. We will be back tomorrow, as we say, about roughly the same time, about 1:30, for a quick review of day 3. So whatever may happen, and then we'll be back. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you're not watching on YouTube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, like the Facebook page. There's more stuff coming out as and when stuff happens. We'll be back tomorrow, as we say. Mick, anything else you want to add on?
No. Thank you very much for listening.
Fantastic. So we'll see you all.
Even through that little bit where nobody said anything. That was my particular favourite part of it.
I had it playing back in my ear on like a 2-minute delay.
Right.
So I thought you were still talking.
Right.
That's why I wasn't saying anything.
I think I might have identified a bit of a flaw in your headphones.
Yeah, might be an issue there. I'll investigate for next time. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers for watching, guys.